a power that can destroy or perhaps create. Who knows what is true or not among the calamities described in the universe of Hunter x Hunter? Perhaps more have been cataloged, and we just don't know yet, or maybe they were deliberately hidden so that no one would know what is still to come. Are you ready for this journey into the powers of these calamities? Stick around until the end and let's dive into the video, but not before subscribing, activating the notification bell, and leaving your like. We've seen various types of Nern and what they can do to the user and the opponent, but is all of this truly natural? Where do such powers come from? Where are they located? And is there even such a thing as natural? What if the calamities, which are powerful in and of themselves, are what's natural, in a way, a force that resides in the shadows, pushing something even greater? The Dark Continent, where these terrible creatures dwell, situated beyond the limits of the known world in Hunter x Hunter, is more than just a hidden geographic extension. It is, at its core, a breaking point in the logic of the human world, a crack in reality where the impossible continuously manifests. There, natural laws bend before entities and forces so powerful that they not only defy human understanding, but threaten to redefine what it means to be human. It's in this setting that the so-called calamities emerge, not as common monsters or isolated catastrophic events, but as primordial forces that, if unleashed upon the world, would have the power to annihilate civilizations, subvert cultures, erase fundamental concepts such as free will, identity, memory, love, and even time. These calamities, described in the fragmented records of failed expeditions to the Dark Continent, are few in number but vast in impact. Each one is unique in power, form, and effect. They don't follow known biological patterns, nor do they obey rational strategies of attack or defense. They are entities with their own purpose, some guided by instinct, others by incomprehensible logic. In studying them, one can see that their greatest power is not brute strength, but their ability to alter the very fabric of human reality, our fears, emotions, social structure, and even desires. The first noteworthy calamity is Brion, a creature described as a giant plant-like organism, but one that operates with the cold efficiency of an extermination machine. Its regenerative capacity is instantaneous, making it immune to nearly any kind of physical attack. Brion doesn't attack out of rage or hunger. It eliminates whatever enters its territory as an immune system deals with an infection. Its power is inviolability. Its existence renders certain regions of the Dark Continent inaccessible, not through physical barriers, but through the certainty of death. Imagine what would happen if Brion were transported to the human world. Entire cities could disappear overnight with no chance of resistance. Its global impact wouldn't be just destruction, but fear and stagnation. Trade, travel, human mobility itself would be paralyzed by the terror of a predator that cannot be defeated. The second calamity, Papu, operates on an even more visceral level. It is a parasite that turns its hosts into compulsive devourers. Papu transforms human beings into insatiable monsters, driving them to consume everything around them, including other humans. Its power is multiplied hunger. And this hunger is not a metaphor. It spreads like an epidemic. In terms of impact, if Papu were released in any urban area, society would collapse within days. Armed forces would be useless, because the enemy would be the population itself. The rapid spread, the absence of a cure, and the destruction of supply chains would cause global collapse. More than a biological plague, Papu is the symbol of social apocalypse. Then there's Hellbell, the third calamity, which is the very concept of a curse in physical form. A gigantic serpent shrouded in an invisible mist, it inhabits a forest where even the concept of time and sanity seems to unravel. Its powers are not direct but psychological: disorientation, hallucinations, memory loss, and a deep feeling of despair. Hellbell doesn't need to kill directly. It causes others to kill themselves or go insane. Its impact on the human world would be devastating not through visible destruction, but through the collapse of mental institutions. Imagine urban centers becoming zones where time is unreliable, where people disappear for days, return changed, speak unknown languages, see things that don't exist. Hellbell is collective panic turned into a weapon. The calamity AI, or love, is perhaps the most insidious. In the form of a liquid that takes control of people's emotions, AI transforms normal feelings of affection into lethal obsessions. Its power doesn't lie in physical destruction, but in manipulating human connection. It incites suicides out of devotion, murders out of jealousy, pacts of total submission. The human world, built on relationships, would be completely vulnerable. Politicians, religious leaders, parents, lovers, all could be taken over by a love so absolute that they'd lose their own will. Humanity, as a culture, would dissolve into small devotional cults, ready to do anything for their object of worship. And the most terrifying thing is that AI's victim doesn't want to get rid of the affection. They crave it like an addiction. The fifth calamity, Zobi, is the most abstract and, for that reason, the most dangerous. It is described as a disease, but it operates like a concept that insinuates itself into human ideas. Zobi infects thoughts, social structures, philosophies. It can manifest as an ideology, a movement, a belief. It leads to fanaticism, nihilism, self-annihilation. The current world, with its social networks and extreme ideological trends, would be the ideal fertile ground for its proliferation. Zobi doesn't need to attack. It makes people destroy themselves in the name of ideas they don't even understand. And what if it's already among us? What if it's already acting? Besides these 5 cataloged calamities, there are still those that remain in the shadows, and those that may be yet to come. The existence of Nanaka, for example, already opens the door to this. A creature that grants wishes in exchange for proportional sacrifices, with the ability to heal, teleport, kill, alter reality, all through seemingly playful rules. Nanaka lives in the body of a child and acts gently, but her actions carry the weight of catastrophe. She may be the harbinger of a new class of calamities, those that disguise themselves, that seduce, that make deals. If a creature with that level of power falls into the wrong hands, the world could be reshaped according to the desires of a single man. Entire governments could be erased, enemies eliminated, natural laws suspended. And the most unsettling thing, Nanaka seems to follow rules, but we don't know who wrote them. This leads us to consider that perhaps the Dark Continent is not just an inhospitable land with monsters. Perhaps it is an ecosystem of living concepts. Calamities like Brion, Papu, and AI are not just life forms. They are ideas that have taken flesh. And for that very reason, they cannot be defeated in the traditional way. They are immortal as long as there is territory, hunger, affection, ideas, or humans to be infected by these things. The expedition led by Beyond Netero and financed by the Kaken Empire is an attempt to dominate this hell. But it's not just about science or politics. It's about power. Kaken wants weapons, forbidden knowledge, domination over ancestral forces. The selection of princes, with their automatic nin beasts, is a reflection of this madness, an internal struggle, a ritual carnage, where the throne is given to the most cunning, the cruelest, the most capable of surviving, exactly like the Dark Continent rewards its inhabitants. The princes and their guardians are about to enter a territory where their nun abilities may become useless. Where what defines victory is not strength or strategy, but psychological endurance, purity of purpose, and the ability to accept the incomprehensible. They will be tested not by visible enemies, but by concepts that corrode from within. What will happen when a calamity like AI finds a prince obsessed with power? When Papu enters a closed ship? When Hellbell makes passengers forget who they are? More than an adventure, this expedition is a breaking point. Humanity, represented by Kaken and the Hunter Association, is about to cross a line from which there is no return. The human world has already suffered from the previous 5 calamities, and they barely touched the continent. Imagine what will happen if, instead of bringing something back, what is awakened decides to come on its own. And maybe that is the true nature of the Dark Continent, a space not just physical but symbolic. A reflection of the collective unconscious, where the worst parts of humanity gain form, color, and teeth. There, arrogance becomes Brion, hunger becomes Papu, obsession becomes AI, guilt becomes Hellbell, and hopelessness becomes Zobi. And Nanaka? She is desire. Pure and simple. The desire to obtain something at any cost. This desire is, perhaps, the greatest power and the greatest curse of humanity. And in the end, it is what will open the door for the calamities to stop being legends and become the new normal. The true end may not come by extermination. It may come by acceptance. When we accept that we can control the calamities, when we believe we can use them for our own ends, that will be the moment we lose everything. And then, the final question will no longer be, what is in the Dark Continent? It will be, what did we let out of there, and how do we survive it? These questions always remain when it comes to power, but the greatest power of these calamities is the mere human desire itself for power. The desire to be powerful and control the unknown hovers in Togashi's universe, and this right here, folks, is absolute cinema.